Hi guys, my name is Laura Clarke. Welcome to today's video, and I'm going to share another book that I love, and this one is one that I grew up reading and learning from. I really love these 1970s craft books and make-it-yourself books. They're extremely inspirational and a lot of fun to look at and super easy to find secondhand, whether you go online or in store at used bookstores, thrift stores, flea markets, eBay, Amazon, thrift books, wherever else you can buy used books online. You can generally find lots of these types of books. So I've made it my mission to collect a few, and I just wanted to share with you this one and a few things in it. Since it is copywritten, I will only be sharing the images with you. So let's go. So this book was actually given to me by a dear friend many years ago, and it is the 1975 edition. The 1970s is by far, along with the 1960s, one of the most amazing eras for craft books and general arty books due to the hippie movement and the make-it-yourself movement. A lot of books got published on how to create things with your hands and bring them to life. So this book focuses a lot on knit and crochet. So like, look at this fun, very 70s cardigan, and it has lots of how-tos, and it can show you how to make scarves like this one. And you can even make things for the family like this men's whatchamacallit, vest. I don't know why it was so hard to remember that. I guess, you know, it's the weekend and yeah. So, and then you can make pillows for yourself or your cats. I love the knitwear in the 70s though. Like, how amazing is this sweater? There's a lot of really amazing sweaters in this book. And it is in the old form of knitting, and I believe that it may also be from Europe or England. England had a lot of really great books. One of my favorite sewing books, Easygoing Sewing, is from the 70s and is an English publication as such. Everything's in centimeters, so thank goodness we have those unit converters. And this sweater was one that I always remembered. But then again, it's also on the cover of the book, making it very iconic. And you can crochet amazing blankets like this one. And considering the Afghan trend, if you got a book like this and you have a turn towards a knack to knitting or crochet, what you could do is you could take one of these books and make the squares as seen in the book, and then make your own scarf, shawl, whatever wearable you make out of granny squares. You can totally do it and be the only one wearing this amazing thing, or amazing granny square creation of yours, mixing vintage and making it modern and making it you. I think that's an amazing idea. I tried to knit and crochet when I was very young, and when I realized that I could not design with knit and crochet because my brain just does not work in that way, and I tried so hard. My mom could tell you that I really did try so hard to knit and crochet, but it's just not for me. And I love fabric way more than I love yarn, though I find yarn absolutely fascinating. So I really love looking at vintage knit and crocheted patterns on clothes because it gives me a good idea of the shape of clothes that women and men wore back then, so that I can see and be inspired by that when I design designs now, because I am heavily influenced by all things vintage. But fret not if crochet or knit is not your thing. You can sew. So it does have sewing patterns, and I don't think anything is more 2021 and 2020 than making your own bathrobe, because we all spend a lot more time at home than we used to, and it's always good to be comfortable and casual. And you can also make your own skirts. So I love 70s sewing books. I think it is the era that I have the most sewing books for and want more sewing books from. And there are always so many directions on how to make these amazing 1970s A-line skirts. Or even better, you can make yourself a pair of pants. I would love to make pants. I've tried making them before. The hardest part to get right in pants is the crotch, but I know with practice and good tutorials on the interwebs or through books is definitely something that can be learned. And yeah, so just wait and see. Maybe one day soon I'll be making a video where I have an amazing pair of pants to show you guys. And you could also make yourself a poof. Like, seriously, you can make everything you need for life. I believe they also have things, if you have children, that you can make for your kids. And then we have needle crafts. So this is a cross stitch belt. Needle crafts were a huge thing in the 70s. Pretty much everything you could make was really huge in the 70s. And I love all the ways that you could just make things and how much a part of culture it was. And here is a cross stitch, and this is for your bedspread. And oh my goodness, an advent calendar with a shoe. So this also shows you how to applique, which is really, really cool. And I'm sure you've noticed this on the internets, because I certainly have. All the people latch hooking and needling and all the others. It's not needling. Oh, what is it called? Latch hooking and the other. Actually, latch hook hasn't been happening too much. I'm going to totally have to like cut this part out. But that punch needling. Okay, so punch needling is something that has been going around like crazy on the internets these days. But before punch needling, or around the same time in the 70s, what was really huge was latch hooking. So this will show you how to latch hook. I think punch needling is probably more popular these days because you have one long continuous thing of yarn that is fed through your punch needle that goes into your fabric. With latch hooking, you have all these little bits of yarn that you have to deal with, and then you have to put them in and use this little latch hook tool and just do a whole bunch of fiddly work. So I guess that's why it's not so popular anymore. I haven't seen lots of reels of people latch hooking, but punch needling for sure. Anywho, and then you can also make a braided sisal rug. Braided rugs were actually very common in the 70s too. In Easygoing Sewing, I believe they have how to make several braided rugs out of fabric. So make, do, mend. So that is an overview of this book. I hope it entertained and inspired you to go hunt for vintage crafting books. And I just hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you again soon. Bye!